For today's video, pag-uusapan natin ang Semirara Mining and Power Corporation, SMPC, with a ticker code of SCC. Maraming nag-panic selling the day after ng announcement na na-deny ang request ng SCC for another extension of its coal operating contract. Kaya parehong bumagsak ang share price ng SCC at DMC. Favorite dividend stocks pa naman ng nakararami ang dalawang ito. And meron din akong DMC at SCC sa regular account ko and pera account ko. SCC's share price is down 21.39% while DMC naman is down 14.66% a day after the unfavorable news. So bakit pati DMC bumagsak ang price? Kasi DMC owns 56.65% of SCC, kaya affected din ang share price niya. Investors are reacting to future visibility ng company. So, naka-price in dito ang uncertainty sa future ng SCC at pati na rin ang DMC. So, bakit na-deny ang extension ng kontrata? Ang coal operating contract ng SCC was originally set for 35 years. It was issued noong 1977, granting SCC the exclusive right to explore, develop, and mine coal on Semirara Island until July 2012. In 2008, the DOE extended the term by 15 years, giving SCC until 2027. Under the existing contract, SCC enjoys incentives gaya ng exempted sila sa lahat ng taxes except sa income tax. At meron din silang tax relief sa tariff duties and compensating tax kapag nag-import ng machinery at equipment na kailangan sa coal operations. In return, SCC is required to pay 30% ng net proceeds sa DOE bilang royalties. Sa ngayon, SCC is the largest coal producer in the Philippines, accounting for 97% of domestic production. Nag-request ng another extension of 13 years ang SCC sa DOE, pero na-deny ang request kasi lalampas na sila sa maximum legal duration of 50 years. According to DOJ, hindi na pwedeng extend ang coal operating contract kasi it would violate the legal ceiling. The Department of Energy confirmed that they will follow the DOJ's opinion and will not grant a direct renewal or extension. So the DOJ's ruling is based on a constitutional limit. Kaya the coal block will be opened to competitive public bidding this year. Eligible pa rin naman ang SCC to participate sa bidding just like any other interested companies. The winner will be chosen based on qualifications. Kaya SCC has a big advantage with their 50 years experience sa complicated engineering projects. Alam na nila ang gagawin nila, they have the equipment and decades of experience sa Semirara. How this affects SCC business? SCC is currently the largest coal producer in the country. Coal mining ang core business nila. It accounts for the majority of their revenue and profits. And ginagamit din nila ang sarili nilang coal to run their power plants. Sa first 9 months ng 2025, 50-50 ang split ng coal and power sa revenue ng SCC. However, for the third quarter alone, coal contributed 57% sa revenue ng SCC and 43% from power. Sa DMC, 49% naman ang contribution ng SCC sa core net income ng DMC. Sa third quarter alone, SCC's contribution sa core income ay bumaba around 38%. And 62% naman from DMC's other business segments. Ito ang gusto nating mangyari. If SCC wins the new contract, it secures long-term control of the Semirara mine. So, tuloy ang operations nila with mining rights secured beyond 2027, possibly for another 25 years. Pag nawala ang uncertainty, the stock could recover quickly. Dividend visibility improves and investors will regain confidence. However, a win might come with stricter terms. Pwedeng mag-demand ng higher royalty share ang government, currently at 30%. So, pwede nilang taasan. Pwede nilang alisin ang tax relief sa previous contract nila. And pwedeng magkaroon din ng additional environmental or operational compliance requirements. So, this could squeeze future margins and dividends of SCC and DMC. SCC's advantage and chances of winning. This is what we know so far. SCC has the experience and know-how. They have been operating the Semirara mine for 50 years, kaya very familiar sila sa complex infrastructure nito. Even DOE Secretary Garin has acknowledged their long track record and expertise sa mining operations. They already have the equipment and meron silang experienced teams who know exactly how the mine runs. Bagong bidders would need significant time and investment para ma-match ang level ng experience at setup ng SCC. And third, qualification-focused criteria. According to DOE, the bid will focus on qualifications. This gives SCC a competitive edge. Ito naman ang view ng research team ng First Metrosec, one of the brokers na ginagamit ko rin for investing sa stocks and global feeder funds. Optimistic sila, but they also recognize the risk. Ang view nila is SCC is in a strong position to win the bidding for the Semirara Island coal operating contract based on two key advantages. First, SCC has deep operational expertise and long-standing familiarity with Semirara Island, giving it clear execution advantages. And second, the infrastructure and equipment are already in place, putting SCC well ahead of potential competitors. They also believe that substantial upfront capital requirements for coal mining and intangible barriers unique to Semirara Island will likely discourage serious challengers. However, risks remain. SCC may need to offer higher royalty rates to strengthen its bid. Currently, DOE already receives 30% of coal earnings ng SCC. So any increase sa royalties could compress margins and affect profitability. So this needs close monitoring. Unless merong unexpectedly aggressive bidder, they don't expect an impact on SCC's earnings or dividends. Importantly, under the contract rules, SCC has the right to match the highest bidder in a public bidding. Ito ang biggest advantage ng SCC in the bidding process. Pero syempre, nothing is guaranteed until the process is completed. So itong interesting, lumalabas sa mga usap-usapan na ang Aboitiz Power ang strong contender. Maybe because they have the capital, they have experience in large energy projects. Pero right now, hindi sila clear frontrunner kasi wala silang operational expertise sa coal mining. Ang expertise nila is on power generation, power distribution, retail electricity services, and distributed energy. Coal mining is a different technical business. So, kailangan ng specific technical, environmental, and logistical requirements that SCC already specializes in. Now, tignan naman natin ang worst case scenario. Syempre, ayaw nating mangyari ito. Pero what if natalo ang SCC? Unang-una, they would lose control of the Semirara mine, which is their main revenue driver. Coal ang major contributor sa earnings ng company. So losing it would significantly impact future income ng SCC as well as DMC. Sa power business nila, mapipilitan silang kumuha ng coal from external supplier, possibly at a higher cost, at pwedeng lumiit ang power generation margins nila. So that means lower revenues, lower profits, and possible dividend cuts. And we all know, maraming dividend investors ang nasa SCC at DMC because of their high dividends. And this would fundamentally change SCC's business model. They need to diversify aggressively, acquire new assets, and pivot to other energy segments. Lahat ng ito requires substantial capital and time. Kaya replacing the scale of the Semirara Island operations would be very challenging for SCC. Ito yung risk that the market is pricing in right now. Pag na-finalized ang bidding later this year at hindi nanalo ang SCC, the winning company will have less than 1 year para mag-transition. The equipment currently being used belongs to SCC. Hindi ito automatic na matatransfer sa mananalo sa bid. So kapag may bagong company na magti-take over, they would need to buy, lease, or source their own heavy equipment. At hindi yan madali. Pwedeng ma-delay ang full production unless makipag-negotiate sila kay SCC for asset sale or lease. Coal supply is critical for electricity generation. Kapag nagkaroon ng disruption, the bigger risk is higher electricity cost pag hindi naging smooth ang transition. And now, the big question is, anong gagawin? Buy, hold, sell, or wait and see? Depende pa rin yan sa risk tolerance mo. Kung hindi mo kaya yung uncertainty or volatility right now, baka mas mapanatag ka if you sell or reduce your position para makatulog ka na mahimbing. Pero kung malakas pa rin ang conviction mo sa SCC at pati na rin sa DMC at naniniwala ka na malaki ang chance nila manalo sa bidding, pwede mong i-hold or even buy on weakness. Kung malaki naman ang position mo sa SCC, reducing exposure by partial selling might be prudent. Sa ngayon, mataas pa ang uncertainty at limited ang information. So, pwedeng mag-wait and see muna. There is nothing wrong with waiting for more clarity. Reminder, this is not a financial advice. You have to decide for yourself because that's your money. And right now, the market is pricing in the uncertainty. Worth it ba ang risk for the potential reward? Para sa akin, wait and see muna ako habang wala pang clarity. How about you? Anong plano mo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching!